share price was primarily driven by short sellers covering or people going long the stock. Either way, the SEC alleges that what Torchlight did was illegal. Both Berta and Polycaris faced charges of market manipulation and fraud. In the words of the SEC, the two CEOs are more concerned with burning the shorts than creating long-term value for their shareholders. Following the completion of the merger, Torchlight changed its name to Metamaterials. Since 2021, the share price has declined by more than 99%. The company was obliged to conduct multiple reverse stock splits to keep its share price above $1. They're quickly running out of cash, and substantial doubt exists about their ability to continue as a going concern. For years, Metamaterials has claimed to be an innovative company, developing advanced materials with commercial applications. They claim to have a bunch of products for the telecommunications, aerospace,
once felt like a rite of passage for tech enthusiasts. At its core, jailbreaking is the process of removing software restrictions imposed by Apple on iOS, iPhone's operating system. This allowed users to install unauthorized apps, customize the interface, and access features not available through the official App Store. However, what once was a bustling subculture within the tech community has seen a noticeable decline, so let's find out why. When Apple first released iPhone in 2007, it was a revolutionary device, but it came with its share of limitations. The App Store didn't exist yet, and users were stuck with a few pre-installed apps. Ambitious developers saw an opportunity to push the boundaries of what iPhone could do. Just a few days after the original iPhone's release, the first jailbreak was introduced, allowing users to run third-party applications. This initial wave of jailbreaking was driven by a desire for customization and expanded functionality. One of the earliest and most noticeable jailbreak tools was iPhone Dev Team's Pwnage tool, which enabled users to create custom firmware packages that could be loaded onto their devices. This tool set the stage for more sophisticated jailbreak methods in the years to come. Another significant milestone was the release of Jailbreak Me by developer Comex in 2010. Jailbreak Me was a web-based tool that allowed users to jailbreak their iPhones by simply visiting a website and sliding to unlock. This ease of use brought jailbreaking to a broader audience and significantly lowered the barrier of entry. Between 2010 and 2013, jailbreaking hit its stride. Tools like Jailbreak Me and Green Poison made the process more accessible to the average user. The jailbreak community was thriving, with forums buzzing with discussions, guides, and the latest tweaks. The Cydia App Store, created by Jay Freeman, became the go-to hub for jailbroken apps and modifications. During this time, jailbreaking was not just a way to bypass restrictions, it was a creative outlet for developers and a means for users to tailor their iPhones to their exact needs. Cydia offered a wide range of apps, tweaks, and themes that allowed users to customize their iPhones in ways that were not possible with stock iOS. For example, the SB Settings tweak provided quick access to system settings, while Winterboard allowed users to apply custom themes to their devices. These tweaks and apps were often created by independent developers who were passionate about pushing the boundaries of what iPhone could do. The jailbreak community also saw the emergence of dedicated forums and websites such as ModMyEye, iPhone Dev Team Blog, and Redmond Pie. These platforms served as hubs for users to share their experiences, ask for help, and discover new tweaks and apps. The sense of community and collaboration was a significant factor in the popularity of jailbreaking during this period.
Problemen met grijs haar? Die heb ik niet meer. De nieuwe Alpecin Grey Attack.
One of the main draws of jailbreaking was the ability to customize iPhone's appearance and behavior. Users could change the look of the home screen, add widgets, and even modify system fonts. Themes and skins allowed for a level of personalization that iPhone severely lacked at the time. For example, the Winterboard tweak enabled users to change icons, wallpapers, and even system sounds. Another popular tweak, Spring to Mize, allowed users to customize nearly every aspect of the home screen, including the number of icons per row, the size of icons, and the animation effects. Jailbreaking opened the door to apps and features that weren't available in the App Store. This included everything from file managers and torrent clients to emulators for playing classic video games. For many users, the appeal was accessing tools that Apple had restricted without having to switch to Android. Another example was iFile, a powerful file manager that allowed users to browse and manage the file system of their iPhone. Another popular app was MXTube, which let users download YouTube videos for offline viewing, a feature that was not available in the official YouTube app. In the early days, many iPhones were locked to specific carriers, and jailbreaking provided a way to unlock these devices for use with any carrier. This was particularly attractive for international travelers who needed the flexibility to switch SIM cards. For instance, the UltraSnow tool, developed by iPhone Dev Team, allowed users to unlock their iPhones and use them with any GSM carrier. This provided a significant cost-saving benefit for users who wanted to avoid expensive roaming charges while traveling abroad. Jailbroken devices could benefit from various tweaks that enhanced functionality. Features like multitasking, which were not initially available on iPhones, could be added through jailbreak tweaks, making the device more powerful and versatile. One of the most popular tweaks was Activator, which allowed users to assign custom actions to various gestures and button presses. For example, users could configure a double tap on the home button to launch a specific app or perform a system action. Another example is IntelliScreen, which added a customizable information panel to the lock screen, displaying notifications, weather, calendar events, and more. One of the most significant factors in the decline of jailbreaking has been Apple's relentless focus on security. Over the years, Apple has continuously updated iOS with new security features and patches to close vulnerabilities used by jailbreakers. Each new iOS release comes with enhanced security protocols, making it harder for jailbreak developers to find and exploit new loopholes. Apple also introduced hardware-based security measures like the Secure Enclave, which further complicated the jailbreaking process. These advancements have made it increasingly difficult and less appealing for both developers and users to pursue jailbreaking. For example, the release of iOS 9 in 2015 introduced a new security feature called Rootless, which restricted access to certain system files even for users with root privileges. This made it much more challenging for jailbreak developers to modify the core system and create stable jailbreaks. Another reason for the decline is that many features once exclusive to jailbroken devices have been incorporated into iOS. With the release of iOS 5 in 2011, Apple introduced Notification Center, which provided a unified place for managing notifications, a feature that was previously available only through jailbreak tweaks like Lock Info. Similarly, the introduction of Control Center in iOS 7 provided quick access to system settings, reducing the need for tweaks like SB settings. As Apple continues to listen to user feedback and integrate popular features into their updates, the need for jailbreaking declines. Plus, the App Store has become more robust, with a wider variety of apps and more lenient regulations. In fact, Apple recently began allowing emulators for the first time, which just gives iPhone users one less reason to jailbreak. Legal and ethical issues have also played a role in the decline of jailbreaking. Although the act of jailbreaking is legal in many countries, it often voids the device's warranty and can lead to security vulnerabilities. Plus, there are ethical concerns related to piracy, as jailbreaking can be used to download paid apps for free. This has led to a negative perception of jailbreaking among both users and developers. In the United States, jailbreaking was granted an exemption under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, allowing users to legally jailbreak their devices for the purpose of installing non-Apple approved software. However, the legal landscape remains complex and varies by country, adding an element of risk for users. Also, there have been cases where malicious software was distributed through jailbroken devices. In 2015, a malware called KeyRaider
Only fools pledge life to honor.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
I never compromise.
Minions have spawned.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Their bones will wet my blade. They won't survive. Don't cross me.
First blood.
Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide. This is no challenge. Only fools pledge life to honor. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. They won't survive. Don't cross me. Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide. Pathetic. On the razor's edge. Only fools pledge life to honor. Enjoy steel. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. They won't survive. cross me. Let's finish this quickly. Nowhere to hide.
You have slain an enemy.
On the razor's edge. Only fools pledge life to honor. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to They won't survive. Don't cross me. Let's finish this quickly. Piercing winds! Carve the spirit! There's nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Only fools pledge life to honor. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Killing spree. spree. Enemy double kill. Your turret has been destroyed.
I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. They won't survive.
Enemy killing spree.
Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide.
Enemy rampage. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Sealed.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Only fools pledge life to
Enemy
honor.
killing spree. Enemy rampage. Has been destroyed. An enemy is unstoppable.
Don't cross me. Their bones will wet my blade. Pathetic. Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide. On the razor's edge. Only fools pledge life to honor. I never compromise.
An enemy is dominating. Shut down.
Nothing to me.
Enemy rampage.
They won't survive. Don't cross me.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere
An
to
enemy
hide.
is dominating. An enemy is unstoppable. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
On the razor's edge.
Now that is what I
Your turret has been destroyed.
Pledge life to honor.
Man. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
I never compromise. Your allegiance is nothing to me. They won't survive.
Double kill. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Don't cross me.
Enemy killing spree. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy is legendary. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your ally has been slain. Defeat.
affected over 225,000 jailbroken iPhones, stealing Apple ID credentials and other sensitive information. Incidents like these have raised concerns about the security implications of jailbreaking and discourages users from participating. While the jailbreaking community itself, once a vibrant and active group, has also seen a decline. Many prominent developers who were instrumental in the community have moved on to other projects or were actually hired by companies like Apple themselves. As a result, fewer jailbreak tools are being developed and the community has shrunk. Comex, the developer behind Jailbreak Me, was hired by Apple in 2011. Plus, other prominent developers like GeoHot and Chronic Dev team members have shifted their focus to other areas, leading to a decline in new jailbreak releases. Plus, user interest has shifted. With the continuous improvement of iOS, many users find that their needs are adequately met without the need for jailbreaking. So the risk-to-reward ratio has changed, leading to a decrease in the number of people willing to risk jailbreaking their devices.
Het zijn onze spelers die Tombola zo leuk maken. Samen met onze unieke bingo- en arcadespellen. Plus onze gezellige community.
Ja, het is een beetje een bingo-familie. Vind jij dat ook?
Download de app. Ontdek de fun.
Several jailbreaking tools have had a significant impact on the community and the broader iPhone ecosystem. Tools like Evasion, iOS 7.1, and later iOS 8, and it was notable for being one of the first jailbreaks released by a non-Western team. Notable figures in the community include GeoHot, who developed jailbreaking much more challenging. This marked the beginning of a decline in the frequency and availability of new jailbreaks. The introduction of Apple's Bug Bounty program in 2016 was another significant event. The program offered financial rewards to security researchers who discovered and reported vulnerabilities in iOS. This incentivized many talented developers to work with Apple directly rather than releasing jailbreaks, further contributing to the decline in new jailbreak tools. Today, jailbreak releases are few and far between. When they do appear, they often come with significant caveats, such as limited device compatibility or the need to remain on an older version of iOS. The process has become more complex, requiring a higher level of technical expertise. The Check Rain jailbreak, released in 2019, is based on a hardware exploit called Checkmate that affects older iPhone models up to iPhone 10. While Check Rain provides a reliable jailbreak solution for these devices, it's not compatible with newer models like the iPhone 11 or 12, limiting its appeal to a smaller subset of users. So the current demographic of jailbreak users tends to be more tech-savvy and willing to take on the risks associated with jailbreaking. These users are often motivated by a desire for specific customizations or functionalities that are still not available in iOS, like changing the system font with the ByteFont tweak or adding additional biometric authentication options with BioProtect. Others may seek specific functionalities like the YouTube++ tweak to download YouTube videos or enabling tethering on carriers that don't officially support it. However, the overall number of users has decreased compared to the peak years. So while jailbreaking is still around, it continues to pose several challenges and risks. Security remains a primary concern, as jailbroken devices are more susceptible to malware and other threats. Plus, the legal and warranty implications can be a deterrent for many users. The shrinking community means that support and resources are not as readily available as they once were. This can make the jailbreaking process more daunting for newcomers. And while there are still active forums and websites such as Reddit,
FBI claims they've hacked the failed Trump assassin's phone, but how? Also in your hacking news roundup, AT&T suffers a historic breach and Apple bans VPN apps in Russia. But first, we have some clues. The photo is really low res, but if we successfully gained access to Thomas Matthew Crooks's phone. But how? The hacking methods at the FBI's disposal totally depend on which model of phone the assassin had, and thanks to pictures leaked to the press, we have some clues. The photo is really low res, but if we do some enhancing, it's clearly some kind of Android. Looks like we have 3 cameras on the back, a flash, and the brand name at the bottom. My money's on some kind of Samsung, and I could be totally wrong, but perhaps the A25? Let's assume the phone was locked with fingerprint recognition. Could the feds, after they finally got up onto that roof, just have touched his finger to the reader in order to unlock it? There are reported cases of law enforcement exploiting a corpse's finger to unlock a phone, but this is only possible soon after a person dies, because fingerprint scanners rely on the electric charge running through your body, and once that's gone, then you're just out of luck. As for facial recognition, the guy's face looked a little rearranged from the photos floating around on X, so I'm not sure that was much of an option. In fact, we know the FBI's methods were a little more technical, because according to The Verge, field agents in Pennsylvania had tried and failed to break into his phone, so the device was sent to the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia. There, it's been leaked to the media that the phone was unlocked with tech from Celebrite. Celebrite is an Israeli forensics company which makes these things, a hardware and software package which, simply put, can break into and unlock many modern phones. This all relies on vulnerabilities in iPhones and Android devices, which Celebrite keeps secret. Even the capabilities of these tools is totally unknown, or, well, at least it was until a couple of days ago when Celebrite's list of supported devices was leaked. So how this works is that the data that can be extracted from an Android phone depends on whether it's hot or cold. A cold device is a device that's just been rebooted. User data is totally inaccessible until you enter your passcode, at which point a decryption key is loaded into memory and the phone becomes hot. The phone is still considered hot even if it's locked again, because that key is still stored in memory. In this state, it's easy to extract data. This column shows that for the latest Samsung phones, the feds can exfiltrate everything. This applies to pretty much all the newest Android phones, though there are some devices which, for whatever reason, this isn't possible. However, it's a slightly different story if the phone is in a cold state, as in it's only just been rebooted. In this state, the phone has to be brute forced, but this is possible for pretty much most of the newest Android phones, including the phone of the assassin. We don't know how the brute forcing works on a technical level. Celebrite is known for their secrecy, and even tells the feds in training material to keep their methods, and I quote, hush hush. So what did hacking the assassin's phone reveal? Well, according to media reports, which don't cite their sources, but I mean it's all we have to go on, not much, apparently. But what I can reveal is today's sponsor, Proton Mail. What I love about Proton is that it's not just a privacy-focused
and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat. Her anguished eyes stare at him unfocused. Pressed against him, she meets his sympathetic gaze. He gently takes hold of her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat. Osha gazes deeply into his eyes.
How does it feel?
Dirterotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. The Force's female has come full cycle. Back on April 22nd of 2020, when it was announced that former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, will be heading a Star Wars project.
I just try to treat everything as if we're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Many of us at the time speculated it would be an intersectional feminist fever dream, focusing more on identity politics than actually crafting a story.
Yes, yes.
Devolving into mystery box bullshit, which is a cheap way of circumventing characterization and narrative, with the added bonus of on-brand Disney Star Wars lore destruction, jingling key cameos, and fan attacks. And now, well over 4 years later, it's been confirmed. The Acolyte is indeed an intersectional feminist fever dream that focused more on identity politics rather than crafting a story that devolved into mystery box bullshit, which circumvented characterization and narrative, with a healthy serving of that on-brand Disney Star Wars lore destruction, key jingling cameos, and fan attacks. So let's get to episode 8 of The Acolyte, called The Acolyte. Previously on The Acolyte.
Wow, I just built the most amazing workflow on Monday.com.
You build your own workflow? Why?
The best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. Depends on what side you're standing on.
I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
People have told me that it's the
never compromise.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Noxian swine, Demacian swine. They'll...
Minions have spawned.
Don't. Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor. On the
See your spirit.
They won't survive. I never compromise.
First blood. Enemy has been slain.
Eyes unclouded.
An enemy has been slain.
Don't cross me. Let's finish this quickly.
Pew!
Enjoy the taste of steel.
Beautiful, isn't it?
There's nowhere to hide.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain.
This blade's my favorite. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Don't cross me.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor. On the razor's edge. Their bones will wet my blade. They won't survive. Darkness. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Don't cross me. Let's finish this quickly.
Dominating. You have slain the has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor. On the razor's edge. This blade's my favorite.
Shut down.
It won't survive.
An enemy has been slain.
I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Don't cross.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
You will unnecessary in the future.
Okay.
An enemy has been slain.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
You have been slain. Double kill. Killing spree.
I never compromise.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Another body for the gutter.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Don't cross me.
Your turret has been destroyed.
There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor.
Has been slain. Killing spree.
They won't survive. I never compromise.
Let's see what you're made of.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
You are slain in the
Don't cross me. Let's finish this quickly.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Time.
To honor. Slain.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Allies has been slain. Killing spree.
On the razor's edge. They won't survive. I never compromise.
An enemy has been slain.
Their bones will wet my blade.
Dominating.
Allegiances mean nothing to me.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Don't cross me.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Let's finish this quickly. There's nowhere to hide.
Slain an enemy. Godlike. Rampage. Unstoppable.
On the razor's edge.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
They won't survive. Never compromise.
Dominating.
the playing field.
Has been destroyed. Legendary.
There's nowhere to hide. Fools pledge life.
Has been slain. Legendary. Godlike.
On the razor's edge. They won't survive. I never compromise.
An enemy has been slain. Legendary. Legendary.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me. Don't cross me.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. You have been slain. Legendary.
There's nowhere to hide.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down.
else pledge life to honor.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
They won't survive. I never compromise. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I will not.
Has been slain.
Don't cross me.
A summoner has disconnected. Victory!
Gay Star Wars, and I'm frankly into it.
I carried them. I created them.
It's pretty good, let's be honest.
But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying.
You should just shut up.
It's just
You should
like,
shut up.
but that is the beauty of this story.
Are you people f***ing retarded?
But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
I can't help but feel partially responsible.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
I dropped a diss track. That's what I heard.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
You get nauseous when you drop through hyperspace? I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
We open up directly following the events of episode 6, which was followed by the flashback episode 7, which was essentially a repeat of the flashback episode 3. We last saw a diverse non-binary female protagonist putting on a helmet. And wouldn't you know it, she has a vision of diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who is now back to being an antagonist, killing that guy from Squid Game, and she knows where they'll be later in the episode.
How convenient.
And because The Acolyte is somewhere between a CW show and the worst kind of 14-year-old girl fan fiction written as a coloring book, Little Wang, who wants to kill both the guy from Squid Game and the diverse non-binary antagonist who's briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and diverse non-binary protagonist who wants to stop diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist from killing that guy from Squid Game, decide to go together in the same ship.
With what ship? I'm taking mine.
I'm going where exactly? I've seen where they are.
So we go together and see who gets to her first.
And you may or may not remember that the last time we saw diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and that guy from Squid Game, he had her restrained on a bed. Right, what you know, Leslie. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game was finally going to reveal the truth that he had been teasing all season.
I'll explain everything. I'll explain. It's time for me to face the High Council to tell everything.
Everything?
So you're going to listen. You and Osha are not twins. You're not even sisters. You're
Good thing we watched the last episode, which was essentially a rehash of the third episode, which basically confirmed that diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, set a fire in the highly flammable stone structure, killing the remaining coven of lesbian space witches that Moss Windu didn't kill when they possessed Kelnaka. And Sol can't help it if he's retarded and some lesbian space witch rematerialized around his lightsaber. What he is guilty of is having inappropriate connections to a youngling. But as it goes with mystery box storytelling, the audience has to wait for the uninteresting main character or characters to catch up with him. You know, it's too bad the Jedi Master Sol didn't think to remove the plot convenience from his captive. And the diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's back to being an antagonist gets away. It's barely an inconvenience. Nice helmet, by the way. But when that guy from Squid Game has diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now an antagonist in his sights, Space Beaver sabotages him.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
Diverse non-binary protagonist had the aforementioned vision and took Little Wang with her. Diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's back to being an antagonist crashes relatively close to the highly flammable stone structure. And that guy from Squid Game turns on his transponder and the Jedi receive it. But there is one small scene worth mentioning because it wouldn't be an episode of The Acolyte without Leslie Headland taking George Lucas's lore to Harvey's couch. I've used that one too much already. How about Dave Filoni taking George Lucas's lore to the doghouse? Because it happened, folks. They plagueist.
Zomeraanbiedingen bij Autohero. De Volkswagen Golf vanaf €12.300.
You
you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
You may think it's about the Sith Lord being betrayed and killed by his apprentice Palpatine, but in truth, he was arrested for stalking after being caught watching a young Asian man sleep in a cave on an island. At this point, Disney Analytics dictates there needs to be some action and lightsabers. And after diverse non-binary protagonist is somehow able to hotwire a door in a combustible stone structure where 16 years previous the generators blew up, we get Smilo Ren versus that guy from Squid Game in Crouching Patriarchy and Hidden Misogyny.
Liu Kang. Liu Kang. Fight!
Intercut with the matchup 5s and 10s of people were waiting for, when diverse non-binary antagonist, who was previously a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, tells diverse non-binary protagonist that that guy from Squid Game killed their mom. It leads to a Disney Star Wars first, some sister-on-sister action, and it went down something like this. But in all seriousness, we did almost get some scissoring. And Smilo Ren pulled out his little Wang. That guy from Squid Game gets the best of Smilo Ren, and then we get a double heel turn. And I hope you're all keeping track at home because, quite frankly, I'm having trouble. Diverse non-binary antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, saves Smilo Ren from that guy from Squid Game. This is the point where Disney Analytics dictates it's time to repurpose something from the real Star Wars.
Your hate has made you powerful. Fulfill your destiny. Never.
Well, screw that. This is better.
Good mate. Feel your anger. This is the source of your pain. Strike him down, and your journey will be complete.
No.
So now it's diverse non-binary protagonist who was formerly an antagonist, who was formerly a protagonist, who was formerly an antagonist.
But wait! There's more!
Then diverse non-binary protagonist shows up and that guy from Squid Game admits he killed her mom.
And you killed her. You killed our mother.
Yes, I did.
Is that true?
Turning diverse non-binary protagonist into, you guessed it, diverse non-binary antagonist who was formerly a protagonist. And this brings us to what is undoubtedly a big W for DEI, a Disney Star Wars milestone, the first black female to identify as non-binary to force choke an Asian man, whose last words are, "I love you."
I did everything because I love.
Disney, I'm sure you're aware you have a bit of a reputation right now with the way your company acts and what you put into your scripts, and with something like this, it's really hard to argue that. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game says it's okay to kill him now.
I better use my strong hand.
Fatality.
Then diverse non-binary protagonist, who was previously an antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who was previously an antagonist, smirks. And this is where things get shockingly stupid. Anakin's turn to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith was downright arduous compared to this. Diverse non-binary antagonist, who was formerly a protagonist, force chokes a Jedi with no training, bleeds on her kyber crystal, which turns her lightsaber red.
Red? That's red.
Girls get it done.
That not-so-anticipated reveal of who is Smilo Ren's master, well, we find out it's Jedi Master Nepo in a basic line of dialogue.
You're lying.
And I can hear you now, dear viewer. They're obviously setting up a confrontation between Smilo Ren, the twins, Jedi Master Nepo, and our Jedi Corps of cosplayers, and Darth Plagueis. And Plagueis killing everyone because that's the only way you can justify the Jedi not knowing about the Sith, and lesbian space witches who use the Force to conceive twins without a father. You sweet summer children, there you go again trying to make sense. Nope, Smilo Ren runs away with the twins. And instead of doubling his pleasure, the idiot mind wipes May and sends her back to the Jedi. No confrontation, no Darth Plagueis. The Acolyte ends with a series of meetings. And we find out who the true villain is. I mean, besides Kathleen Kennedy and former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. No, it's her wife, Jedi Master Nepo, who not only covers up the existence of the twins and her former Padawan has gone to the Sith, Jedi Master Nepo covers up the previous Jedi cover-up by framing Sol as the murderer of all the Jedi with this line, which also expresses exactly how Disney feels about George Lucas's Star Wars.
This is a terrible tragedy. It was the work of one flawed
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I never compromise.
Minions have spawned.
On the razor's edge.
Defeat.
Man.
And this show is the work of one flawed woman. When in doubt, blame the man who did nothing wrong. This is the point where Disney Analytics dictates there needs to be another pointless cameo.
Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
So what's Jedi Master Nepo gonna say here? Yeah, Master Yoda, there was this coven of lesbian space witches who conceived twins without a father that died mysteriously at the hands of some Jedi who covered it up, and then those Jedi were murdered along with a dozen others, directly or indirectly at the hands of my former Padawan, and I framed an innocent man for some of those murders? Or is she just gonna ask for some vacation time to take care of the one loose end? Whack Basil. And this scenario creates a lot of questions. Is Yoda complicit? Does he know about these cover-ups? And does he know about the Sith, and has he been lying? Or is he a clueless idiot that leads to 50 more questions? And then I remembered...
I don't care.
I could go on, but I won't.
Exclusive by Albertine, la pasta al 100% italiana Bertolli.
De nieuwe Rexona non-stop bescherming wordt geactiveerd door jouw inspanning. Hoe warm je het ook krijgt, Rexona blijft werken tegen geur en zweet. Upgrade nu voor 72 uur non-stop bescherming.
The robots are going to take over. That's the fear, isn't it? With the evolution of artificial intelligence moving at an almost incomprehensibly fast pace, It's easy to understand why we get preoccupied with this idea. Everywhere we turn, there's headline survey from May 2020 asking whether human authors what will become of our future. Public release of ChatGPT, completely enthralled with its mere existence, and now it's just a regular part of many people's lives. There are always trade-offs. The whole way, localized and online one-shot multitask learning. Potatoes. So AI researchers assume that bigger models like GPT and Google's Gemini grew 2,000. Most of this energy is gotten from non-renewable sources, which is only worsening our climate crisis. If you want to do something about the climate crisis, then you should check out the sponsor of today's ads. 50 says plant trees or fund other Kickstarter campaign content from being used. Models need massive amounts of data to work effectively. Yes, it's important that they can answer simple questions like what temperature to cook chicken at, but perhaps more importantly, they need to be able to generate coherent, human-like sentences. But how do they learn to talk like a human? From other humans, of course. But is it ethical or legal for a company like OpenAI to scrape online sources like YouTube that might not approve of such scraping? OpenAI reportedly used its audio transcription model Whisper in an attempt to get over the hump of hazy AI copyright law. The model transcribed files from YouTube videos into plain text documents, creating the data sources needed to train its AI chatbots. Whisper transcribed over 1 million hours of YouTube videos uploaded by millions of users, some of whom derive part or all of their income from creating content on the platform. OpenAI knew this was legally questionable, but believed they could claim it was fair use of online content. OpenAI President Greg Brocken was hands-on in collecting videos used in the training, and the company maintains that it uses publicly available data to train its AI models. The scraping violated YouTube's rules, which ban the use of content for applications independent of the site. Interestingly, Google, which owns YouTube, knew about OpenAI's actions but didn't report them because they were allegedly doing some content scraping of their own for the Gemini AI model. YouTube isn't the only company that's pushing back against AI training. In 2023, the New York Times accused OpenAI of stealing intellectual property and sued both it and Microsoft, OpenAI's financial backer, for copyright infringement. With this move, the Times became the first major American media organization to sue an artificial intelligence company over its content being used to train chatbots. The suit called for companies like OpenAI to destroy chatbot models and training data that is copyrighted New York Times material. It's the first test of legal issues around generative AI technology and could have major implications for training large language models. While the Times understandably has issues with its catalog of 13 million articles being used without permission, News Corp, which owns the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal, has taken the polar opposite approach. As of May 2024, the company has a multi-year licensing deal in place reportedly worth $250 million that grants OpenAI access to much of its content. OpenAI has also inked deals with Fox Media and The Atlantic, perhaps out of the harsh reality artificial companies like it will be facing moving forward. All of the major players creating these massive language model AI programs are starting to hit the limit of data available to train them. Google now has a deal with Reddit to license content from the website to train Gemini. Meta even considered buying book publisher Simon & Schuster and its 100 years of material outright so it could get access to all of its content. While these companies fight it out over who gets access to what, there are real implications for the people who create this content. Visual artists, musicians, and writers are watching their work show up in AI texts and images. This happens when an AI is trained on certain text and images and learns to identify and replicate patterns in the data. When the program is meant to generate music, art, or text, the data it trains on has to be created by humans. Notable authors like Jonathan Franzen, George R.R. Martin, and John Grinzam filed a lawsuit after learning that AI had absorbed tens of thousands of books. Actress and comedian Sarah Silverman sued Meta and OpenAI for using her memoir as a training text. Just like chatbots, it's difficult to identify what art has been used to train these models because companies like OpenAI, which owns the popular image generator DALL-E, don't disclose their datasets. Others like Stability AI, which owns the generative AI model Stable Diffusion, are clear about which data they're using, but they are still taking artists' work without permission or payment. The legal recourse for artists is difficult. Experts are of two minds, and some feel that this type of AI training infringes on copyright law, but others feel it's still above the board and that the lawsuits will fail.
On the razor's edge.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
They won't survive.
The Messiah have suffered much, but get in my way.
Don't cross me.
Minions have spawned.
Traveled across the world to die for someone else's king. Pathetic.
There's nowhere to hide.
First blood.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
An ally has been slain.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
You have slain an enemy.
Let's finish this quickly.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
On the razor's edge. They won't survive. Don't cross me. There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
An ally has been slain.
This way is my favorite. Let's finish this quickly. I never compromise. On the razor's edge. They won't survive. What's yours is mine. Don't
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide.
Enemy killing spree.
Only fools pledge life to honor. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill.
I never compromise.
Enemy killing spree.
On the razor's edge. They won't survive.
An ally has been slain.
Don't cross me.
Enemy rampage.
Nowhere to hide.
Shut down. Enemy rampage. An ally has been slain.
Said I was a monster.
An ally has been slain.
Only fools pledge life to honor. allegiances mean nothing to me. Let's finish this quickly.
Enemy rampage.
I never compromise.
You have slain an enemy. Killing spree.
Don't cross me. There's nowhere to hide.
Explosive face melter! Rising roll beat!
Enemy double kill. Shut down.
Allegiances mean nothing to me. Let's finish this quickly.
Killing spree.
I never compromise.
An ally has been slain.
Fiery spirit of the Ural Inferno! Pierce the sky and punch the stars!
Your turret has been destroyed.
They won't survive.
Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide.
Rightfully mine.
You have been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
My fury with your steaming face. Turbo shock rockets
Has been destroyed. You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
Hyper flame spitter. Fiery spirit of the Euro Inferno.
Rampage. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I never compromise.
An ally has been slain.
On the razor's edge. They won't survive.
Call it redistribution of magic.
An ally has been slain.
Don't cross me.
Enemy killing spree.
There's nowhere to hide.
Explosive face melter.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Come here and try.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
An ally has been slain.
Let's finish this quickly.
An enemy has been slain.
I never compromise.
Killing spree. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
They won't survive.
Shut down. Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
Don't cross me.
An ally has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide. Only fools pledge life to honor. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Staff action! Turbo shock rockets!
Enemy double kill.
I never compromise. Good use of this.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
They won't survive.
Slain. Slain.
Don't.
Enemy double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret. You have slain an enemy.
fools pledge life to honor. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Enemy double kill. You have been slain.
I never compromise.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. There's nowhere to hide.
Enemy double kill. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Rising roll Phoenix Fire!
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Galactic Hyperberry!
An ally has been slain.
That's insulting! Learn to dance! You're gonna take that from me? Get them!
Let's finish this quickly.
Double kill. Aced.
I never compromise. On the razor's edge.
An ally has been slain.
They won't survive.
Slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
A summoner has disconnected.
Defeat.
And the truth is that nobody knows because we're in uncharted territory that once seemed like merely the subject of science fiction movies. In the 2013 Spike Jonze movie Her, Joaquin Phoenix's character falls in love with an AI virtual assistant voiced by Scarlett Johansson. And 11 years later, life is imitating art. After OpenAI announced a new personal assistant called Sky, it was easy to notice that his voice sounded a lot like Johansson's. Sam Altman, the company's CEO, has noted that Her is one of his favorite movies. Turns out he'd been courting Johansson to voice the new AI assistant, but she declined the offer. After hearing Sky's voice, Johansson threatened a lawsuit against OpenAI. For actors, politicians, athletes, or anyone else in the public eye, it's easy to see how AI could completely upend someone's life if their image, voice, or likeness is replicated, but that upending is already happening right now. While it is clear that AI companies are knowingly pushing the limits of copyright law, they're also inadvertently causing even more harm. Whether the companies are intentional about it, AI models are inevitably trained on the discriminatory data littered across the internet. AI models encode patterns and beliefs representing racism, sexism, and other prejudices. If these biases are deployed in settings intended for use specifically in law enforcement, they can lead to tangible damage to innocent people. For example, if AI models are shown more images of white faces than darker skin tones, they will have more trouble identifying features of dark-skinned people. If police use AI to try and catch criminals, the odds are higher that their systems will mistakenly identify dark-skinned individuals more often. Or if AI is used to generate forensic sketches, the model will take all of the biases it's been fed and spit them back out in the sketch. Prompts like gang member or terrorist will inevitably whip up a stereotype that could totally be off the mark. The implications in law enforcement are easy to see, but they're also much further reaching. In healthcare, computer-aided diagnosis systems have returned lower accuracy results for black patients than white patients. In job applicant tracking, Amazon stopped using a hiring algorithm after it saw that the algorithm favored words like executed and captured, which were more often found on men's resumes. AI biases perpetuate human societal biases and can come from historical or current social inequality. If you ask an AI to generate an image of scientists, it'll most likely show a middle-aged white man with glasses. What does that say to young girls of color who want to be scientists? These missteps foster mistrust among marginalized groups and can lead to slower adoption of some AI technology. The ethical issues aren't solely embedded in the training and use of these models, they're happening right here in the physical world as well. Content moderation is a famously difficult job. People sift through some of the worst images, descriptions, and sounds on social media platforms, online forums, and retail sites. They ensure that disturbing scenes don't wind up on our screens or in our ears. AI might be getting smart, but it doesn't self-moderate. Time magazine did a deep dive into a company called Sama in January 2023.
every single game that has had Sweet Baby Inc.'s name attached to it has been a financial or critical failure, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. But now their latest release, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, is out. The critics are only giving it decent reviews, but there's basically nobody playing it. I have a few things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I have to talk a lot on this channel about Sweet Baby Inc. It's really the company that kind of set Gamergate 2 into motion, that gained a lot of attention very quickly, and people are not happy with the content that they are working on and ultimately altering. But now their latest release, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, has finally come out, and boy, is it already looking like a disaster. Now, first off the bat, I have to say it is a terrible idea for companies to launch on a weekday, unless you are already a massive studio, like From Software can launch on any day of the week, right? But when you are relatively unknown or you're a smaller studio, it is not smart to launch on a weekday, especially in the morning, and that is exactly what happened with Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Thursday morning, they said to themselves, this is the best time to launch a game, so of course, going into launch weekend, I am sure that we are going to see slightly higher player numbers, but for launch, these are just terrible to go off of at this point in time. As you can see, judging by the Steam charts, so far, very bad. Players in the game right now, 600, and of course, the all-time peak was 2 hours ago at launch with 607 people online. Now, of course, there are some caveats to this because it is on Game Pass, and I do think that it probably is getting quite a bit of traction that way, but of course, we know that Game Pass really isn't all that positive for studios. We've heard several developers come out and say, well, we do still ultimately rely on individual sales off of Game Pass, and I'm sure that this studio is as well, but, well, it doesn't look like many people are going to really be buying this or financially supporting it. Now, of course, I typically do not trust critic reviews. I play things myself, give them a shot myself, and it will be interesting to see how users rate this game, but so far, it's only looking decent for this. Now, a 71 is not awful by any means, but we are talking about critics who do generally support the messaging and ultimately the ideology that is shoved into products like this. So you would think that, of course, they are going to look past all of the technical issues and any story issues, right, in order to promote a game that supports their ideology, but ultimately even they're saying it's not perfect. It does things well, like the open world, and it is a fun experience that blends action and the Souls-like genre together, but it's still got issues. Now, of course, I don't necessarily think that, again, the critics are to be trusted, but it is interesting seeing them giving the game these scores. And of course, when it comes to Sweet Baby Inc., we know their focus is injecting DEI ideology into the product that they're hired to work on, but everything they're involved with just sucks. They've got bad scripts, character designs, gameplay, I mean, you name it, and it's got a problem. I have not seen a single game with Sweet Baby Inc.'s name attached to it that across the board was fantastic. I think the closest game we really got was God of War Ragnarok, but even that faced a lot of criticism because they did ultimately decide to race swap characters, and the story was much slower paced than the first game in the, of course, we assume it's going to be trilogy. We haven't really gotten any news on what's coming after Ragnarok, but regardless, that's the closest we've gotten to a really good game, and even that was not perfect. I mean, is Sweet Baby Inc. the company you call when your game sucks so much that you are desperate to find any audience, so you allow them to reskin it and add cringe dialogue or backstories in hopes modern audiences will show up? Newsflash, they don't, because they don't exist, and we are seeing game after game after game release that doesn't have a real audience that they're targeting. Again, modern audiences do not exist. Closest group of people to that are sensitive snowflakes on social media, and they are not showing up to support products like this. I mean, look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It had everything. It had feminism. It had, of course, race swaps. It had very, very questionable character designs. I mean, that should have been a haven for these individuals, but womp, womp, womp. On Steam, it only peaked at 13,000 people. That's it.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Enjoy the taste.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
My prey now!
Nothing but.
There you are.
Minions have spawned.
Let's finish this quickly. I never compromise. Don't cross me.
First blood.
They won't survive.
An enemy has been slain.
Heads up!
Only fools pledge life to honor.
An enemy has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide.
Take this!
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
An ally has been slain.
Pathetic. Let's finish this quickly. I never compromise.
Victory!
That's all they could muster up on this platform. It is absolutely pathetic. Now, of course, when it comes to Flintlock Siege of Dawn, we have seen a plethora of problems because the trailers initially released to negative reaction. The senior operations and growth manager melted down over backlash and left social media. And then there were developers that actually reached out to Cabrutus, who started the Sweet Baby Ink Detected, or now it's called DEI Detected, Steam curator page and website. And they wanted to clarify that no Sweet Baby Ink content made it into the final game. But then he simply asked for proof and they never offered it. And now it's launched to, again, decent reviews by critics. Yet basically no nobody is playing it. Now, I did decide to make an X thread on this, and people are already laughing at them, talking about how pathetic this is. Based on the graph, the future for Flintlock Siege of Dawn looks incredibly bright as long as it keeps crawling upwards at this astonishingly glacial pace. This really starts to tell you that the people that we are against don't even care about their side. It's all about money and shilling. They have shown their hand and nothing is beyond being played. They do not care. I wish we could see the Game Pass numbers. I want to see them too. Obviously, we won't unless they hit major milestones and they talk about it on their social media, but that typically does not happen. And I don't expect it to happen here because I don't think the player numbers are going to be much higher. There really wasn't a lot of hype surrounding this game leading up to release. And even now, there's no one really positively talking about it, saying that, oh my god, so far the footage I've seen looks amazing. That's just not happening. People are saying good for them doubling the players of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That's big for them. Yeah, I mean, there's basically nobody playing that game either. I've never heard of this game. I didn't even know it was out. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see over the next few days for kind of release a weekend how the numbers end up going for them. Maybe it will skyrocket in players. I just highly doubt it, and this looks to be
We Nederlanders like to do everything on the fiets. And that's why we have an e-bike for everybody. Look! For old people. For PCP's. Hey, Rozer. And for
Here's that all too predictable yikes that I knew was coming. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Flintlock Siege of Dawn has released to epic failure, falling flat on its face and exploding on retail shelves into a fiery mess that nobody wants to play. Well, I shouldn't say nobody wants to play. I mean, there are those compromised journalists that I've talked about and how they have the backs of Sweet Baby Inc. because they want to make sure anything that Sweet Baby Inc. touches, that they are pushing it forward because Sweet Baby Inc. is just the most important thing in the world and any game they work on is so important and so great that everyone needs to play it even if it's not that good. Why? Well, I mean, it's not the worst game ever. It's actually quite average. But when you consider this game's been in development hell for years, and the people behind it, A44 Games, had potential up until the point of involving Sweet Baby Inc. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down the incredible flop that Flintlock Siege of Dawn is undergoing right now. The somehow much anticipated action role-playing game from compromised journos that I covered in a previous video has released, and an A44 Games case published by Kepler Interactive, much to their dismay, has not released with a bang, but with a quiet yelp. Any initial buzz surrounding Flintlock has quickly dissipated, with Steam charts reflecting a stark reality. The game is not popular at all. Players are abandoning ship. Most aren't even bothering with it in the first place. The numbers are dropping rapidly, and a launch day peaking at, as of recording this, 648 players. 648 players for this massive game that had so much work going into it and such high expectations that everyone covering it, knowing exactly the background of it, was going to be a complete commercial failure. And I don't know how to put this nicely, but 648 people peaking on launch day for this massive release from the studio is so embarrassingly bad that it's kind of weird to even be talking about it. Like, think about it, like 648 people on Steam playing this game. That's about the same amount of people that watch my video in the first 20 minutes of launching a video. 648 people worldwide playing Flintlock is so bad that there are no words for it. And this doesn't even get into the Metacritic. We need to talk about that. Metacritic scores from reviewers paint a bleak picture as well, with the game currently sitting at a lukewarm score at around 70 or 71. The number that is steadily declining as more reviews come in. More reviews coming from uncompromised journos, people that are just playing the game on their own to decide for themselves if it's good, instead of feeling like they have to push propaganda for Sweet Baby Inc. because they're in bed with them. What did I mean by compromised journos? Let's talk about Kotaku, who said Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, has its issues, but I think A44 Games has hit upon something special here, creating both an approachable form of Souls-like gameplay and a unique, non-conventional fantasy setting that isn't just another pseudo-European medieval landscape dominated by white men. The game could have easily reached something greater with another 5 or so hours of gameplay, but what's on offer here is a low barrier to entry for a genre that is often too eager to delight in your misery. That one's by Claire Jackson of Kotaku. But compare that to other outlets that are saying that Flintlock Siege of Dawn is just not memorable. It has perfectly okay combat, but it's filled with little frustrations that bury the few innovations that work. Movement outside of combat is often unreliable and not
Let's finish this quickly.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
They won't survive.
Those who oppose me get gored.
I don't listen to the bleating of sheep.
Who
Minions
wants a
have
treat?
spawned.
Bristol wants a treat? Not until we trampled our foes to dust!
I kill three things: gods, kings, and idiots. And you're starting to sound like an idiot.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me. There's nowhere to hide.
Piercing winds!
Don't cross me. Another body for the gutter.
First blood.
They're burning away my blade. Only fools pledge life to honor. I never compromise.
Piercing winds!
On the razor's edge. Pathetic. Let's finish this quickly.
Storm of blades!
They won't survive. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
An enemy has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide.
ally has been slain.
Lies! Piercing winds!
I never compromise. Enjoy the taste of steel. On the razor's This blade's my favorite.
You have been slain.
If only you listen.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's finish this quickly. They won't survive. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. There's nowhere to hide. Another body for the gunner. Pathetic.
An enemy has been slain.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
An ally has been slain.
I never compromise.
has been slain.
Let's finish this quickly.
Piercing winds!
An enemy has been slain.
Enjoy the taste of steel. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. There's nowhere to hide.
An enemy has been slain.
These blades might. Pledge life to honor.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I never compromise.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
They won't survive. Your allegiance.
An enemy has been slain.
Piercing winds!
There's nowhere to hide. This is no challenge.
Killing spree. Shut down.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
Enemy killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
I never. On the razor's edge. Let's finish this. Bones will wet my blade.
Your turret has been destroyed.
There's nowhere to hide.
This one's for you!
Shut down. Rampage.
I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly.
Executed. Your team has destroyed
There's nowhere to hide. Don't cross me. I never compromise.
godlike. Double kill.
The razor's edge.
Has destroyed a turret. Victory!
satisfying, and it's backed up by a story that failed to grab them at any turn. They talk about how it has glimpses of good ideas, but more often than not, they never get fleshed out, and they're left feeling like very empty, that the game doesn't really present a full experience to them. Sweet Baby Inc. has solidified themselves as a curse. At this point, you are dooming your company if you sign them up to come on and consult with you. And a lot of times people might hear that and be like, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion. All they do is narrative assistance and some designs and help people out and give little tidbits of what they should do. No, in the case of Flintlock Siege of Dawn, they did anything but little help and little tidbits. They completely changed the entire game around. In fact, up to and including, now I know this is going to be hard to hear for a lot of people that don't believe it, but initially the lead character was supposed to be white, and then Sweet Baby Inc. came into the project and felt they should make them a black lead character, and then changed the entire compromise of the entire game surrounding that, or at least if rumors about this are to be believed. Many folks saying, why the hell would I even bother playing this game? If it's just a generic action role-playing game where there's a dime a dozen, millions of those out there to play right now, my backlog is long as hell, why would I bother with this game? Which is exactly the conclusion that so many gamers have come to when it came to buying or playing this game. There's just no reason or demand to do so. And honestly, it's unfortunate because it's a new IP, and that's something that we're always, as gamers, or at least myself, clamoring for. Instead of rehashing remakes and sequels to everything we already know, how about something fresh and new that doesn't involve some sort of consultancy company injecting a DEI agenda into a game? How about just making a new IP, a new title, without needing them? Grums on Twitter said, SBI game Flintlock has launched to very poor Steam stats. Only 607 players, where other older games are doing much better at this hour. The game is already discounted 10% on the launch day. Kabruta said, today is the launch day of Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, a game tainted by Sweet Baby Inc. And, to no one's surprise, it is tanking hard on Steam. Keep voting with your wallets. This is not the first time, nor is it going to be the last time that we've seen Sweet Baby Inc. not just involve themselves with a game's design process, but ultimately tank it at retail shelves because they are not good at what they do. And some would even argue that it has very little to do with being good or not. It's just a matter of, are they even necessary? These are unprofessional people, a mafia going around making sure that they get their way to have these game companies pay up for their services. Otherwise, their journal friends, you know, the nose ring mafia, will write hit piece after hit piece to destroy their company, like they were doing with Game Science, who refused to participate with them. And while that is an unconfirmed rumor at this point, it does kind of fall in line with exactly what's transpiring right now. As far as A44 Games is concerned, this most likely is going to doom their studio. They can't survive a massive critical failure. On top of all the behind-the-scenes garbage that was going on leading up to release day, this is an epic fail on a grand scale in front of everyone to see. And unfortunately, some people might be really hard developers working really hard on this game behind the scenes, but because they involved narrative design like Sweet Baby Inc. and impacted the game to a point of catastrophic failure, they really have no one to blame but themselves when they ultimately close up shop. At least that's the way I'm seeing this. As far as Flintlock Siege of Dawn is concerned, looks to be just another generic action RPG that had potential. I'll be honest, like, generally it looked interesting, but as far as the gameplay, reviews, and storyline have come out about it, nope, not even worth wasting my time on it. I've gone through all these Metacritic reviews and wanted to give it an honest shot. I genuinely did, but I can't help but come away from it thinking that there are a couple impacted journalists out there that are trying to push this game, but overall, it's just very mixed. As of right now, on PC critic reviews, there are 5 positive overall, which is 25% of the reviews. 5 of them said it's positive. The overall, overwhelming majority are mixed. 14 of them, or making up 70%, are mixed. And then you have the 5% that are to be determined, which one of them falling under that is Kotaku, like I talked about. But it's ironic that even Kotaku doesn't have a score for this, but they're talking about it in a positive light. Just like oh, it could have been 5 hours longer, it could have been a little bit better and bigger, and could have done these things, but overall, it's the perfect entry game for you to get into, and you should really give it a shot. And it's so egregiously obvious that they're pushing an agenda for their buddies over at Sweet Baby Inc. at this point, that they need to come back and hit you on the head with a tack hammer if you don't notice what they're doing right now. I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. I will link it in the description below. If you appreciate what I'm doing, please consider...
They won't survive.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
There's nowhere to hide.
Minions have spawned.
Allegiances mean nothing to me. Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor. Their bones will wet my blade. There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge.
On the track!
ally has been slain.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly.
An ally has been slain.
On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. They won't survive.
You have slain an enemy.
Pathetic. Only fools pledge life to honor. There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor. There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
You have been slain.
I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge.
An enemy has been slain.
Don't cross me.
Enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Only fools pledge life to honor. There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise. Let's finish this quickly.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill. Killing spree.
Forever.
Double kill.
Don't cross me. They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor.
Your team has destroyed the turret.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise.
Your team has destroyed the turret. You have
Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge.
Rampage.
Don't cross me.
An ally has been slain. Rampage.
They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor. There's nowhere to hide.
Your team has destroyed a turret. been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise.
Destroyed a turret.
On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. They won't survive.
Ally has been slain.
There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
You have slain an enemy.
Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge. Don't cross me. They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor. There's nowhere to hide.
You have been slain. Rampage. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Never come.
Shut down.
Let's finish this quickly. On the razor's edge.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Don't cross me.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
They won't survive. There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. This is no challenge. Never compromise. Don't cross me. They won't survive. With a
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
All will crumble.
There's nowhere to hide. Your allegiances mean nothing to me. I never compromise.
Double kill. Triple kill. An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Destroyed an inhibitor.
On the razor's edge. Don't cross me.
You have slain an enemy.
They won't survive. Only fools pledge life to honor. Nowhere to hide.
An enemy has been slain. Victory!
Say hello to SwapFeed, the e-bike subscription with free repairs and maintenance included. Book a free test ride today.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the Dread Pirate, Dr. Disaster, and I have an update for you on the Steam charts for the Concord Beta. Now that the beta has been made available for free to anyone in the public who wants to try it out, we can see just how anticipated it really is. I have a man on the scene, a Mr. Ian Malcolm, who's ready to report what he's seeing. Ian, what does the Steam chart for Concord look like right now?
That is one big pile of shit.
Alright, me-hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke and DEI-infected games pinned to my account at all times for your reference. My handle on the platform is Dr. Disaster1. Anyhow, the numbers do not look good for this game, folks. The Concord Beta has been available at the time of this recording for about an hour now, and there were tons of angry, woke, corporate ass-kissers out there who really want this game to succeed, and they insisted that things would be different this weekend when the free Concord Beta went live. Well, guess what? Prepare your shocked face, because these bozos were wrong.
I'm shocked! This is shocking news! Shocking! I'm shocked!
Just look at those numbers, folks. We are currently sitting at just over 1,600 players for this thing. Granted, that's already more than the less than 1,200 that played concurrently during the first weekend, when people had to pay for it. I fully expect, once we hit like Friday night or Saturday afternoon or something like that, once we have gotten to one of the prime times for playing video games, I fully anticipate the game will have a much higher player count than it did the first weekend. But my guess is it will cap out at around, say 10,000. Even if all those players, all the 10,000, ended up buying the game, and they won't by the way, many of the people playing this weekend will be people trying it out as a matter of sheer curiosity. But even if they did, that is a far cry from the million or so copies that they would need to sell at $40 a pop in order to break even on this game. And that is assuming best case scenario on what this game cost the studio to make. Estimates for the title's cost were somewhere between $50 and $150 million. Why these morons thought it was appropriate to spend that kind of money on an uglified version of Overwatch is beyond me. The sheer stupidity required to make this move is staggering at a level that is far beyond my understanding. But just to give you a bit more insight as to how absolutely screwed these morons are, let's make a head-to-head comparison between this game, which is going to cost people $40 to play when it comes out, and which features gross-ass looking characters that nobody likes. Let's compare it to The First Descendant. On the first day of The First Descendant's release, they got damn near 230,000 players. The game came out on a Tuesday, which is going to be similar to a Thursday like what we're seeing here with this game. It's free to play, and it's a brand new franchise with no built-in audience. The First Descendant is the very definition of a contemporary for Concord, and they are beating the shit out of Concord by a factor currently of over 100 to 1.
This is quite a shock. On the other hand, it's not surprising in the least.
That is staggering, but it's unsurprising. However, there is at least a little good news for Concord. At least they aren't Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. I covered that game earlier this morning, and even this afternoon, Flintlock, which is a Sweet Baby Inc. title, the game is only at a little over 600 players right now on Steam. That has to be terrifying for these gaming studios that are investing so heavily in DEI woke shit. But as I've said several times on this channel before, that right there is why these woke game developers don't often put their own creations out into the world. That is why they hijack titles like Assassin's Creed, Star Wars, Marvel, and all these other beloved franchises, because nobody likes the shit that they do. Nobody will buy original woke content. The only hope they have of propagandizing you is by wearing these established IPs as a skin suit for their dog shit ideas. That is why it is so critically important that everyone stop buying these games and just play your backlog for a while. These companies must learn that not even that strategy of using beloved IPs as a camouflage, not even that makes wokeness palatable. But I'm going to leave it there. I am still sticking with my guess of around 10,000 players concurrently this weekend on Steam,